Welcome to the new episode of Top Talents in Hong Kong. I'm Sharon. Today we have a chance to talk with Jeff Song, who moved to Hong Kong through Top Talent Pass Scheme. He is currently the Executive Director of Hong Kong Top Talent Services Association. Having lived in several countries around the world, he finally moved to Hong Kong, brought his family and businesses with him to this city. Now let's trace his journey and see why he chose Hong Kong as his destination.
My name is宋Nan. I moved to Hong Kong in February last year, 2023, and I have been managing my own education-related company. And before moving to Hong Kong, I lived in Japan and Korea for about 15 years. And before that, I was living, working, and studying in the UK and the US for about a decade.
You had been lived in many cities around the world. What's the difference between living in those cities and in Hong Kong?
In comparison with Japan and Korea, I think Hong Kong has even a greater advantage of being more cosmopolitan. Before actually moving to Hong Kong, I knew Hong Kong being a very cosmopolitan place, but I felt like unless you actually live here, you get to really feel that sort of appealing aspect. When I actually moved to any other countries or places before, especially for example like Korea or Japan, I think there's a lot of pressure to fit in, like not just in terms of the language, but I think there's quite a bit of a cultural aspect. But I felt like here, the level of inclusiveness is really surprised me. Like we didn't really feel any pressure to fit in. Like you can just be yourself, and it doesn't matter you're from mainland China or from other countries. Like here, you have people from all around the world.
As one who works in the education industry, what's the advantage of education system in Hong Kong?
Simply because of this environment, this very cosmopolitan environment where you get people from all around the world, this inclusiveness. I think the kids here, they grew up in this very sort of globally oriented sort of culture where not only they're curious about different cultures and countries, but they are comfortable of interacting with people from different countries and with different cultural backgrounds. I think this is a tremendous advantage when they grow up, I think, especially in this globalized world.
Why you choose Hong Kong to further develop your business?
Before I moved here, like when I read many of the rankings and also in the news, Hong Kong has been always the #1 place, the easiest place to do business, and also in terms of economic freedom. I have been even impressed more by actually doing it here. And here, as we all know, the tax rate is very low, and even the tax system is just so simple. And compared to most other countries, there's just so much less paperwork. And I think for companies, it's just very easy to start. And also the legal system, everything is so transparent, and not to mention the many special arrangements that in place between Hong Kong and mainland China. So Hong Kong really is the best place for the expanding into mainland China. Even though people point out to this increasingly so-called rising protectionism around the globe, but in my personal opinion, actually this will probably be a good thing for Hong Kong as a super connector, playing the role of connecting different countries, especially connecting the mainland with other countries.
As a top talent, what do you want to tell the government about this scheme?
Because compared to many other countries or places, cities, Hong Kong is famous being one of the top places in terms of cost of living. And relocating Hong Kong involves quite a bit of risk, I think, by that aspect in terms of opportunity cost and all-in cost overall. While we understand being a new sort of immigrant program, talent program, the governments definitely want to sort of get things right, and then they're also exploring the right balance. But I think in order to better attract and also to better encourage those overseas top talent to actually make the move, there needs to be more clarity on how they can renew their visa or under what conditions they will definitely get their visa renewed. And especially in this current not so favorable market conditions, it's not easy to find a job. Well, many people even living here are getting laid off. By taking this sort of risk, but with this kind of uncertainty in terms of a visa renew, I think we just hope maybe the government can take into account to make it more attractive or to reduce this kind of uncertainty when the overseas top talent renew their visa, especially if the government wants to better attract the overseas top